On August 5, 2026, Jason Atta Kwe Arday resigned from the University of Cambridge. He resigned in the middle of a formal investigation into allegations concerning his academic record. Just 3 years earlier, his appointment had been celebrated as an extraordinary achievement. The son of Ghanaian immigrants, raised on a South London council estate, a child who struggled to speak, and eventually a professor at one of the world's most prestigious universities. Now, that remarkable story has become a national controversy. Was Jason Arday the subject of legitimate academic scrutiny? Was he pushed out by relentless public pressure? Or does his case expose deeper problems within Britain's university system? This is the story of Jason Arday. As a child, Arday faced significant developmental challenges. He has spoken publicly about being diagnosed with autism and global developmental delay, and about struggling to communicate. His mother helped him develop through music, repetition, and sign language. Against those odds, he entered academia. His research focused on education, inequality, race, and social justice. His career eventually took him to Cambridge, and in 2023, the university appointed him professor. For many Black Britons and people from African immigrant backgrounds, his appointment represented more than professional success. It represented possibility. A child of Ghanaian immigrants had reached one of Britain's most prestigious universities. That is what made the controversy that followed so extraordinary. Questions first centered on Arday's 2015 PhD thesis. Critics alleged that parts of his work closely resembled material written by others without proper attribution. Further questions were later raised about published work, citation practices, and aspects of his wider academic record. Some of his work had previously received corrections, but allegations are not findings, and that distinction became crucial when Cambridge opened a formal investigation. Because Arday's work had already passed through several layers of academia, his PhD had been examined, his research had been published, he had held academic positions at other universities. So wait, if these systems had examined and approved his work for years, how were serious questions only emerging now? That is an important question, regardless of what the final investigation finds. If misconduct is ultimately established, universities will have to explain how it went undetected. If it is not established, they will have to explain how an unresolved investigation became such a major public controversy. Then, Arday had previously spoken about racist abuse directed at him and his family. His supporters argued that the scrutiny surrounding him could not be separated from wider political battles over race, diversity, and inclusion in British universities. They asked whether the controversy would have received the same attention if Arday had not become a symbol of Black academic success. Critics responded that race cannot determine academic standards, and they have a point. If academic misconduct occurred, it must be investigated regardless of who is involved. But that does not automatically mean every aspect of the public campaign against him was fair. Both things can be true. A legitimate investigation can coexist with disproportionate scrutiny. A serious allegation can be investigated without declaring someone guilty. And criticism can have political motives without invalidating the underlying evidence. The evidence and the motives are not necessarily the same thing. On August 5th, Arday resigned. He said the relentless scrutiny, speculation, and attacks had taken a profound toll on him and his family. He also made clear that his resignation should not be interpreted as an admission of guilt. And that matters, because resignation is not a verdict. The investigation had not reached a final public conclusion. So the central question remains unanswered. What actually happened? But a crucial question remains. How did Jason Arday's career reach this point unnoticed? At every stage of an academic career, multiple institutional safeguards are meant to verify academic rigor. A PhD thesis is supervised and examined by multiple academics, including internal and external examiners. Journal articles must pass through editorial boards and at least 2 independent peer reviewers. And academic appointments and promotions involve further scrutiny of a candidate's research record. If the concerns now being raised are ultimately substantiated, the question goes far beyond Arday himself. If the system spent years looking the other way, why did the spotlight suddenly burn so hot? The answer lies in how an issue of citation errors grew into a national debate, raising hard questions about whether this was fair accountability or a relentless pursuit. And did Arday's race and prominence make him more vulnerable to public attack? Either way, the institutions are part of the story. Jason Arday's rise was once presented as a story of perseverance. The son of Ghanaian immigrants, a child who struggled to communicate, a young man from a South London council estate, a professor at Cambridge. Now that story has become something much more complicated. It is a story about academic integrity, institutional responsibility, race, representation, and public scrutiny. But there is still no final verdict. So perhaps the question is not simply whether Jason Arday is guilty or whether he has been the victim of a witch hunt. The deeper question is whether universities can enforce academic standards while ensuring that scrutiny remains fair and consistent. Can we investigate serious allegations without turning them into public convictions? Can we discuss race without allowing it to replace evidence? And can institutions take responsibility when their own systems fail? For now, we do not know, and that is precisely why this story is still unfolding. What do you think? Is this primarily a case of academic misconduct, a failure of the institutions around him, an example of disproportionate scrutiny, or can all three be true at the same time? Let us know what you think and why.